when you're trying to decide to build a nation, there's always clubs you can consider, there's always nations you can consider. But I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to go outside of the box. And I've always been a fan of how the Faroe Islands seem to always punch above their weight. This is a small group of islands in between Scotland and Iceland with a population of only 53,000. The population of this whole nation is less than some towns in nations like Denmark, like Norway, etc. And they punch above their weight, and I just wanted to try something different. So we've ended up at the Faroe Islands doing a club and country save with a twist, because the idea is to build the whole nation in terms of our club side of things. Now, on old Football Managers, I've always loved to build a club. On my old YouTube channel, we always used to rise clubs up through the nation, through the leagues, starting in the low leagues, and this time I wanted to build a whole nation, inspired by people like Second Yellow Card. I love watching his content. Me and Matt have known each other for years now. I used to have on my old Football Manager podcasts, and build a nation is something which I've done in the past, but I want to do properly with yearly updates on my YouTube channel this year. So hopefully you guys are going to stick around and enjoy this content going forward. Now, pulling myself along a little bit here, you can see the Faroe Islands coefficient-wise are currently 43rd. They're actually above Iceland, which is mental. Iceland are 51st. We are ranked currently 43rd in the coefficient ranking. If we go to qualification places as well, and find the Faroe Islands. So 43rd, we have one qualification in the Champions League path starting in the first qualifying round. Then if we work our way over, we have 3 in the first qualifying round, the UEFA Europa Conference League. So that's one place. The winner of the league gets into the Champions League. The next 3 get the Conference League, depending on the winner of the Cup. So out of 54 nations, we are ranked 43rd to start with in the coefficient rankings. The challenge will be to build up the whole nation and work our way all the way up and try to get, I would like to see if we can get into the top 10. If we can get the Faroe Islands into the top 10 before the end of FM23, as a nation, I will be absolutely delighted. And as a national team, I guess the first step is not to get sacked if we have a couple of bad results. But this national team, obviously ranked 124th, I think is quite a high ranking for what this nation has from a player base. And only 53,000 as a population. Trying to find players to actually participate for the national team is going to be a fun challenge. But in terms of the national team, my goal is to just qualify for a national championship like the World Cup or the European Championships. If we can qualify for either of them, I would be over the moon and ecstatic of how we have developed the nation. I guess you could say a lot of this is going to depend on the youth intakes, and we really do need to develop our youth system as well as other teams in the league, and to do that they need to be successful in Europe to get the money in to then develop them facilities. And that's going to be even more challenging to develop the facilities because we can only have 4 foreign players in the starting 11. Now, one thing I would mention is Scandinavian nations do not count as foreign. So we can sign Icelandic, Norwegian, Danish and Finnish players, and they will not count as foreign players in the squad. But we can only have 4 players outside of that. So looking at African players to come over early on for the cheap wages, we can only sign 4 of them. So we've got to make sure we are developing players from our academy as quickly as possible. Now, obviously, the plan will be to sell players to other teams in our league as we develop and as we become stronger. But early on, we really have to just focus on ourselves because we are starting as Aja Boltfelag. Boltfelag. I think I nailed it. Any Faroe Island national people watching, did I nail that pronunciation? I don't think I did. So as you see, we are starting them with AB, and I'm excited to give this a go because this club has never won the top flight, and that is what attracted me to them. I wanted to be a team who had not won the top flight because I want to bring a new big boy to the table. And AB are definitely a club who we need to try to develop. They are new to the top flight, and they play in an 880 capacity stadium. Synthetic pitch though, which is nice, so when the bad weather comes to the Faroe Islands, we can keep playing football. Now the club does start with a couple of foreign players. We have a goalkeeper from America, and he's not a bad keeper, to be honest with you. He's contract for a year and a half. His contract runs out in the summer of next season. He's not a bad player, 23 years old. And then we also have an Argentine winger, Santiago Labus, and it's his first club, I think, in the Faroe Islands, which, yeah, so that's mental. I think we brought him over from Argentina. He's one of our highest earners. He's contracted for just this season, but he's an absolute insanely talented player. So I'm excited to see what we can do. Financially, we start with 42,000 in the bank. So yeah, this is going to be our journey. Build a nation in the Faroe Islands. We are also the Faroe Islands national team manager, so we've got to push on with that. We only have 2 friendlies at the minute, Switzerland and Norway. I think the Nations League will be taking place this season as well, so we're probably going to, in the review, have the Nations League as well. But yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you subscribe if you are new here. And yeah, we're going to be building a nation in the Faroe Islands. And yeah, let's see what we can do.